Hi friends, it's Maud here again and welcome to your yoga for tennis players. I am an avid tennis fan and so it just brings me a lot of pleasure to be able to provide this practice for you guys who do this very high level of athleticism called playing tennis. So the intention of this practice is to make sure that we give attention to the areas in the muscles that you need to stay mobile and strong and stable, and to perhaps also avoid any injuries in those areas. So some thoracic rotation for sure, hip strengthening stuff, some wrist stuff, also probably introduce some plyometrics with the ankles since you guys are always up and down, moving around and really fast. But definitely we will have a slower practice today. We'll really get into those areas, pay attention to those, breathe through those spots, and I hope you enjoy this class. So as you can see here, I have everything. I have a strap, I have bolster, I have a block and a blanket. Whatever you have that will serve as a cushion, and if you need it for your knees, you need it for your neck, please grab them so that they're right there and they're available whenever you need them. So we're gonna start class here on our backs. Make sure that the feet are spread apart, wider than hip width apart. Just get your hands at the belly. Really settle your elbows down and ground your shoulder blades. And try not to change the breath too much just yet. Just be settled and sort of arrive in your practice. Fingers lightly on the belly. Not only feeling the rise and fall of the belly as you inhale and exhale, but also this entire rib cage, 360 degrees front, side, and back, the expansion on the inhale. And exhale. Keep your facial muscles relaxed. Let's take a couple of cleansing breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. One more time, inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Set your feet right underneath your knees. And then reach out towards your heels so that your heels, your middle finger is barely touching your heels. So the knees are hip width apart. Lift your arms overhead like you want to touch the wall behind you, but just keep the elbows loose. Notice if there's any overarching in the spine. So you want to just nudge it down towards the mat. And on your next inhale, tighten those glutes, curl your tailbone and lift up towards a bridge pose. And as you exhale, slowly lower it down. Opening up the hips, curl tailbone, lengthen your spine, and then inhale, tighten the glutes, lift your hips up. So try not to thrust your hips up. Make this a slow and controlled movement. Lower spine down, curl your tailbone, tighten the glutes, inhale. Tailbone guided towards the back of your knees. That's the direction of the energy. One more time, curl it in. And just stay right here in your bridge pose. And then interlace your fingers, keeping the hips lifted. Just interlace your fingers. Open the palm towards the sky. And then inhale, lift the arms overhead, keeping the fingers interlaced. Exhale to the sky. Just doing two more of these. Try not to hold your breath as you're holding your hips high. Keep your glutes tightened. Get them to work. One more time. Inhale, lift. And then exhale. Same thing. Keep the glutes where they are. Keep the hips lifted. Make loose fists with your hands and just do wrist circles. We may be distracting the mind a little bit as we are really trying to feel the fire that's being built in our thighs, glutes. Try not to drop them. You can let them stay there. Dig your heels in. Keep your wrists rolling. Just one more breath. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower. Separate the feet as wide as your mat and just find some nice and conscious, intentional windshield wipers left and right. Make sure the neck stays soft. Make sure your face remains relaxed. As a tennis player, you know it's such a solo game. So I know you guys are very good with focus, very good with discipline. Same exact discipline here on the mat. One more time on each side, right and left. The next time the knees are on the right side, keep them there. Lift the right ankle off of the mat, and then just place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. And then left arm crosses the chest, and then the right arm clips your left arm close to the chest. But be careful that you don't collapse to the right side. Get your left shoulder blade down and feel the stretch here in the left side of the chest, also on that left shoulder. Keep the left arm close to your chest. Big breath, inhale. Exhale, release the arms first. Release the right ankle. Knees to center. Readjust yourself on the mat if you need to. And then drop your knees to the left. This time, left ankle on top of your right thigh. Cross the right arm in front of your chest, and then the left elbow, left arm helps clip it in. And then before you feel the need to collapse to the left side, right shoulder blade remains heavy towards the mat. Even though it's not touching, that's just sort of the sensation that you want. I can even feel a stretch here on my right side, my right waist side. Keep the breath soft and intentional. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Release the arms first. Then release the legs. Roll onto one side and gently push yourselves up and come into hands and knees or quadruped, or some people call all fours. Spread your fingers wide. Make sure that the wrists are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. We will do some cat-cows, but start right here with a zipped belly. That just means you don't dump in your shoulders. And on your next inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift your gaze, open your chest. And as you exhale, you round the spine, you tuck your tailbone, you really round your chest and you drop your head. If we do this about 4 or 5 more times, inhaling as we arch the spine, exhaling as we round, and train yourselves not to dump into your wrist. Try to see if you can keep the entire palm and all 10 fingers alive. Feel the electricity underneath your hand so that you don't feel the need to dump onto your wrist. And you can sort of just keep it by the heel of the hand. Perhaps one more cat-cow. As we arch the spine and inhale, this is a cow pose. As we exhale and round, this is a cat pose. Beautiful. Step the right foot between the palms and come up in this square lunge. We're going to pay attention to the shoulders now. So lift your arms in front and get your palms to be touching each other. Keeping the left arm where it is, we're just going to make circles with this right arm. And you can just direct your eyes towards your left thumb. But inhale as you lift your right arm up. You exhale as the right arm lowers. Feel this movement in your shoulder blade, not just your shoulder joint. Since your left knee is down, we want to open up the left hip. Keep your left glute involved. Do about 2 more circles in this direction. And then let's reverse. If that left arm is tired, recruit the bigger muscles in the shoulders. Breathe through this. Send your ribs in even as your chest is out. Open those palms. Let that arm feel heavy. Get into that right shoulder blade. Also the muscles in the chest. Muscles underneath the armpits are involved as well. 2 more circles like this. Beautiful. Interlace your fingers behind you. You can rest the thumbs in the neck, open the elbows. Inhale here, center. And as you exhale, drop your right elbow down, lateral bend towards the right. Inhale, center, listen to my voice. As you exhale, you open, twist towards the left. We're going to make a flow out of that. Inhale, center. Exhale, right elbow down, left elbow up. How are those glutes, guys? Left glutes on fire. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. 2 more just like this. Inhale, center. Exhale, lateral bend to the right. Right elbow is down. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Drop your right elbow down. This time, right arm lengthens down. Lengthen your left arm to the right. Tighten that left glute to help open up the right hip. And then slowly release the hands down. Come into a longer lunge, which means the left knee will slide a little farther away or a lot farther away from your right heel. Place your hands underneath your face and direct your right foot to be on the edge of your mat. Keeping the left toes tucked, just swing left and right. You'll feel this nice opening in the left hip. Swaying left and right always helps. Turn your toes to the right. Land your right hand inside your right thigh. Twist the body towards the right. Try not to sink your hips down. Try to see if you can really let it come from the left glute. Opening up the left hip. Relax your your neck rather. You can drop it towards the left side. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly come back. Keep the right foot turned out. Walk your hands closer to you. And just find this nice stretch in the inner thigh, the groin. The toes are turned out to the right, but 45 degrees, and they didn't really move. You just kind of shifted your hips back. Inhale here, breathe. And then exhale. Walk the hands forward. And then come back into the quadruped or the hands and knees. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Just 2 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, and you lift the gaze last. Exhale, you round the spine. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Go the opposite direction, you push the floor away. Inhale, cow pose. And then exhale, cat pose. Beautiful, come to center. Send the left foot to the front. And then come into this nice square lunge. So it means the knee is really on top of the ankle. And then the right knee is down, which means you wake up that right glute. Arms forward, palms together. And we'll do those circles. Inhale with the left arm up. Exhale as it comes down. So our focus and our balance is also challenged. If you feel like you're wiggling and you're struggling with the focus, you're struggling with the balance, that's totally fine. That just means that you are working. You'll notice right away as a tennis player which side, which shoulder, which chest is more open or harder to access, harder to release. I'm sure your coach has told you that. About 2 more circles in this direction. Keep the right shoulder blade strong as it keeps the arm in place. And then let's go the opposite direction. This is where the core is really involved, front, side, and back, not just the abdominals. Keep the chest open and liberated. Keep the ribs in, allowing the breath to just come in and down on the inhale and up, back, and out on the exhale as fluidly as you can. 2 more circles. Last one. Beautiful. Interlace fingers behind the head. You can release the thumbs towards your neck if you want. Inhale here, center. Watch that spine. Exhale, left elbow down. Right elbow up. Find that nice lateral bend. Inhale, center. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. How's the left glute, guys? Or the right glute, rather. Exhale, left elbow down. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. 2 more times. Feel free to move slower than I am. You have to accommodate the breath here. So if your lungs are bigger than mine, you most likely are breathing a little longer than I am. And so you cater to that. Exhale, left elbow down. Inhale up. Last twist to the right. Inhale here. Exhale, left elbow down. This time we're going to release the left arm down. Lift your right arm up. Lateral bend stretch to the left. Feel a stretch in your skin on the right side, but don't hold your breath. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly plant the hands. Make sure that the hands are underneath your face and that the left foot is on the edge of your mat. And once again, we're going to shimmy left and right. Beautiful. Keep it nice and steady, even though we're moving, just subtle movements, feeling this gradual opening of the right hip. Turn your left toes out. Leave the right hand down, left hand on your thigh. Just don't sink the hips like that and kind of dump into that hip joint. Keep it integrated. Turn towards the left. Drop right ear to your right shoulder. And feel this tucking of the tailbone down. Notice the difference it makes in your right hip, the front of the hip. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. And then slowly release. Keep the left foot where it is. Just walk your hands back. You may not be able to fully extend that left leg. But as you shift your hips back, you'll notice right away stuff starts to talk to you. Even probably the ligaments inside the knees. I know I had one of my clients, one of my students say that. Groin, inner thigh. As long as it's not ouch and pain. Stay with the sensation here. Groin and inner thigh. Engagement and strengthening and mobility in that area, opening in that area is very important to tennis players as you shift laterally in front and back in the court. Beautiful. Slowly come to center. About 2 rounds of cat-cow. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Inhale, drop belly, lift the tailbone and the gaze. Exhale, opposite way, cat pose. One more time. This is such a nice neutralizing, centering movement that articulates the spine. And then exhale, slowly center. Let's strengthen the hips, shall we? I'll just go into this direction so you guys can see me. Stay right here in your figure 4. In your all fours. And then just lift the right knee to the side. And you'll notice right away you'll want to collapse on that left side to keep everything zipped into the midline. Open that right knee. And then sort of squeeze the knee in towards your thigh, but you're going to keep that right knee bent. You want to stamp the ceiling with your foot. And then you're going to draw the knee in towards the chest. We'll repeat that whole motion. Open the knee to the right. Squeeze the knee into the center. Bring it up to the chest. One more time, right side. Squeeze that glute to the back, to the front. And then last time over here on the right side. Spread your fingers, and we're just going to do a couple of pulses right here. So that knee is in line with your right hip, and just pulse,
pulse, pulse, pulse, pulse. I used to be a bar instructor and we did this a lot. Do not collapse on that left side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Breathe. 2. Last one. Place the right foot down to the back and then lengthen and open the right side. That right leg. Drop your head. Beautiful. Come to center. If you want to take a rest, hips towards your heels and just do some free form wrist rolls, perhaps some free form shoulder rolls, perhaps some free form neck rolls, whatever feels good to you. We'll just take about 20 seconds of rest right here. So make sure that you really do things that make you feel centered or reset. Like you press the restart button and then we can go and do all of that on the left side. We're right about done. Come back to your quadruped or hands and knees. I apologize if you can't see my left side. Zip your belly in, waking up the abdominals. Lift your left knee up and then onto the side. Try not to collapse to the right side. Zip the energy in towards your midline. And then squeeze the knee in towards the midline like you want to stamp the sky or the ceiling with your foot. Knee towards the chest. These are all intentional movements, right? Left knee out. Down, squeeze towards the midline. Up towards the chest. I believe we did one more on the previous side. Open to the left. Center and back. Up towards the chest. One more time. Open to the left. Zip everything in. And then let's pulse. Pulse, pulse. Make sure that left knee is in line with your left hip. If you're not able to lift it up that much, that's fine. It's just something to work on. Paying attention to the hips, the left, the outside of the glute, that glute med. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly rest. Rest the knees down and tuck the toes in the back. Rest your forearms down. Come into a halfway child's pose. You can swing the body left and right. Just let the head hang. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Come to stand, please. But face the long edge of your mat, the long side of your mat, as we're going to come into this sort of wide squat. So the feet are going to be wider than hip width apart, but not super wide. We're going to get into that super wide stance later on. For now, find that midline, turn your toes out a little bit to the side. And as we sit back and squat, you can keep your arms down or up or wherever it's comfortable. And as you come up, I want you to lift your heels up and be on your toes. Inhale to squat. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Inhale to squat. Exhale. As you can see, this is sort of resembling your your stance, right? As you're holding that racket. You just want to pay attention to some of the shapes that you already do. But prepare the tendons, prepare the ankles, the joints to where you're going. And sort of want to imitate those without necessarily imitating the intensity or the impact. 2 more. Squat. Squeeze the glutes as you come up. Beautiful. Come to your squat. Plant your hands down. And then heel toe your feet to be a little bit wider. Keep your toes pointing forward. And we're just going to shift the body left and right into these side lunges. Like I said, the groin, the inner thigh, have to pay attention to those as you play tennis. You guys move laterally. You guys move forward and back. Your arms go up to the side and down. Such a high level of athleticism, demanded and expected. It's such a fun sport to watch. 1 more time each side. This time, turn the toes out. We're still gonna shimmy, but feel the difference here. Keep your spine long. Keep your core engaged. Brace your core. So you're not dumping anywhere. One more on each side. And if you want to turn this into a skandasana, you can walk your hands to the left, lengthen the right leg, toes to the sky, and pause. If this left heel isn't down, grab a blanket, like I said. Place it underneath. It just means your calves are probably tight, your Achilles tendon. Walk the hands to the right, skandasana on this side. You'll notice right away which side is more accessible. And for now, we'll just keep moving. Left and right. Move left. Move right. One more time. And slowly come to center. Walk your feet in a little bit. Grab elbow to elbow. Just find your dangle. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. I want you guys to just feel a release. Let the head feel heavy towards gravity. Keep the knees soft and breathe. Dangle left and right. Loosey-goosey over here. Opening up the back. And slowly plant your hands down. Plant the knees down. Grab a yoga block. And if you don't have this kind of block, grab anything thick and square that you don't mind or won't mind placing underneath your rib cage. If not, then find a really big pillow or a cushion. I can't show you where we're going, and then you guys decide whether or not you have a prop for that. And if you don't, just roll up your yoga mat, and this is going to be the structure that you'll place underneath your rib cage or your armpits. So for those of you with yoga blocks especially, I want you to place your yoga block first on the second height. So this is the flattest, the second, and of course this is the highest, the second height. The edge that's facing you, make sure that that's the edge that's touching towards the bottom of the rib cage. Now, bend the legs. You can stack the knees if you want. If this is too high and like resting your head down just feels yucky towards the neck, you can either put a pillow on top of your arm or get on the flat side. And there you go. So you want to release your right arm up. The left hand can stay wherever it is. Let the edge of the block give feedback to the areas in the rib cage and underneath the armpit. This is where I truly want you to use your exhales to relax. Inhale here. As you exhale, I want you guys to roll your upper body down and forward. And as you inhale, digging into that edge of the block, roll the body back. Ay, ay, ay. This one's a doozy. Exhale, roll forward. Inhale, roll back. Just do it about 3 more times. Let this feel uncomfortable. Yes, allow that to happen. Freeing up the tissues, the fascia, the structures in your thoracic area is always good, especially since you're playing tennis. You need that to be sort of a very mobile place to allow that racket to perform the way you want it to. Slowly come to center. Breathe. In our last few breaths, perhaps you can lift your right arm up. Maybe it can join your right hand. Keep your face relaxed. Inhale. And exhale. And then gently place your left hand in front of the block. Use it to push yourselves up into a nice seated position for a while. I'll just put the block over on the other side so that I don't have to swivel. Just a bit of a pivot here. Again, make a decision, the height of your block or your prop. I'm gonna place it on the flat side just like I showed before, just so it's consistent. Edge of the block towards the bottom of my rib cage here on the side. And you know, for you guys, maybe that area doesn't feel good, and so you can just adjust your prop and the edge of the block wherever it's comfortable. That's giving you a releasing feedback. Stack the legs, the knees are bent, left arm above you. Rest your head on something, please. And if it's not your arm, then make sure that you have a pillow. We'll take a pause right here, allowing the block or the prop to give you feedback. And it shouldn't be ouch, because that's pain. It should be more like, kind of makes you curl your face a little bit, but you know you're going to use the breath for that release, and you just soften wherever you can soften. Right hand can be anywhere it is. Inhale, and then exhale, and then as you exhale, next roll forward. Next time you inhale, you roll back. Perhaps the right hand can be on the mat so you don't collapse all the way to the back or even forward. Believe we did about 6 rolls on that prior side. And guys, if you want to do more rolls than I am doing in this class, if you want to do 12 or 15 because it's just all sorts of yumminess, there's always the pause button. Inhale as you roll up. Exhale, roll forward. Inhale, roll up. One more roll, forward and back. Slowly come to center. Oh God, that feels so good. I hope that was uncomfortably good for you guys. On your last few breaths, lift your right arm up. Perhaps it touches your left hand. Feel open in the space in the armpits, the chest. Place your right hand in front of the block. And use it to push yourselves up into a nice comfortable seated position, perhaps with your shins crossed, whichever seated position is accessible to you. I'm going to use my blanket to sit on. That way there's a lift of my hips above the knees. It just encourages a natural curvature of my spine. Lift your arms up, inhale. And on an exhale, right arm below the left. You can come into eagle arms. You can draw the elbows down and in, or you can just grab shoulder to shoulder. Using your eagle arms or grabbing shoulder to shoulder, we're just going to rotate the thorax or your torso left and right. It's so easy to hold the breath on the side that feels tight and short. I want to encourage you guys to make your breath as fluid as possible. Almost like you want to influence your movement to also be as fluid as possible. 2 more times. Just left and right. Keep your shoulder blades where they are. Keep your hands where they are. We're just going to dip right and left. Thank you for being patient. Repetition sometimes can be considered boring for other people, but we've got to do these simple movements because even though they're subtle and they're simple, it doesn't mean they're easy. The challenge is not in the body, the challenge is in the mind. And as tennis players, you know that firsthand. Mind over matter, talking to yourself, dialoguing with yourself. Last time through. Release the arms, inhale, open up. Exhale, other way, left arm underneath the right. If this one's awkward, that's okay. Draw your elbows down and in towards the body or grab shoulder to shoulder. And once again, we're just going to rotate left and right. You can do eagle arms, you can do shoulder to shoulder. No one will judge you. If the breath is choppy and shallow, guess what happens to the movement? One more time each side, left and right, rotating. Come to center and then just lateral bend. You can play around with the eagle arms or you can do both. Left and right. One more time on each side. Feel this crunch in the obliques. Beautiful, shake the arms. Let's do the exact opposite. Interlace our fingers behind us. Distinguish your ribs and your chest. Chest is open. Send your ribs in. As you squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Lift the thumbs away from your back. Inhale. Exhale, keep the face soft. Chest is open. Big breath in. And exhale it out. Release the hands. Switch the shins if you are seated cross-legged. Hands on the knees. Let's send our heart forward. Inhale, lift the chin up. Exhale, round the spine. Chin to chest. One more time, forward and up. And exhale, chin to chest. Beautiful, come forward. Let's just do some free form shoulder rolls. Coming up, back and down. Again, chest is open, send your ribs in. So we don't leak any energy there. We use fire to keep our core ignited. Keep finding our center. One more roll. Inhale. And exhale. Shake the hands, shake the wrists, shake the arms. And get your palms together at heart center. Thumbs touching your chest. Take a nice bow towards your hands and share a word of encouragement, a positive word of energy and love and empowerment to yourselves, as you guys are not only athletes in court, but we're all athletes in life. Take a deeper bow to yourselves. And as you come up, inhale. Open the mouth with a smile. Exhale. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. Thank you so much for taking this class. I surely hope you feel freer, but also strong, more capable, more badass. It's always a pleasure for me to guide you. I hope you check out my other classes. I have a lot of other classes on my website, www.maud.yoga, which are here. I thank you guys so much. From my house to yours, the light in me honors the light in you, which means namaste. Thank you, bye, and take care for now.